and share my screen. So please let me know if you are able to see my screen and able to hear me. All right, so here I am sharing my AWS console. Okay, is that good for you? All right, very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. All right, so I'm gonna be sharing the console page now. Okay, you should be able to see the console page now. All right, very nice. Okay, are we good to resume? Are we good to start here? Do we have everyone? Okay, all right, very nice. Okay, the first of all, would like to apologize that we have to abruptly we have to abruptly terminate the session on Friday. Okay, so my actually for father-in-law, he met with an accident and we have to admit him to the hospital. So he got very serious and his heart got stopped and the doctor could not revive him. So we actually lost him on last Saturday. So he passed away last Saturday and was busy with the cremation and all the formalities after that. Okay, the reason your session got further delayed. Okay, thank you so much for your condolences. All right, thank you so much for your messages, for your condolences. All right, so let's go and resume here our training. I know we were trying to discuss one of the topic and we actually were not able to complete that one. Okay, so may I know the topic where we were discussing and from where we need to continue? So are we talking about the okay S3 and the CLI commands with it, the IAM? Okay, okay. All right, so we are going to be going and trying to resume from there. Okay, we'll go and resume. Okay, anyone having any questions with the S3? So have you got a chance to try that S3? Have you got a chance to look at the S3, the object storage? Did that work for you? Okay, let me go and check it out, the different buckets which we have created over there. Okay, all right, not tried using the CLI. That's fine. Okay, that's okay. All right, so on the S3, what all we have done here so far is that we created one of the bucket. And when we go and create, when we want to work with the S3, S3 is an object storage, right? S3 is an object storage. And when we have to work with the S3, we need to create a bucket first, and then we have to go and start working with the bucket by storing the files. So this is the bucket which we have created, and we actually added some files to it as well, right? Okay. Uh, did we also saw that we have a static website hosting feature of it? So we covered that, right? How to use the S3 as your as for the website, right? We also saw that how we can go and make use of S3 as a version control system, right? So that is something we have already covered here onto the S3 earlier as well. Now we are going to be trying to integrate and use the S3 with the IAM. So identity and access management is going to be helping us create a user, onboard a user, and we can go and make use of the user to access the Amazon services. Okay, so let me go and check if we have created that user onto the IAM portal or not. I'm going to take you to the IAM, which is part of the identity, security, and compliance. Okay, so I do see that we have a user co-created Suzanne, and we have given Suzanne S3 full permissions. and we logged on to the Suzanne for accessing the services, right? That is something we already covered. Okay, let me go to the downloads and see if I do have a credentials available for the Suzanne or not. All right, looks like I do not have that one. Let me go and try quickly creating that one more time. I'm gonna be showing you that how we are gonna be making use of Suzanne. I'll go and delete the user. So you can also go ahead and remove it. We are going to be going and trying to quickly wrap up the user creation as well. I'm going to go to the add user and going to say would like to add a user called Suzanne. And Suzanne is going to be having both programmatic access and the management console access. I'm okay using the auto-generated password, right? Uh, and don't want to change the password at the first login. And in the permissions, we would like to and attach the existing policies in which we use the S3 full access to it. Okay, and then finally gonna be saying create the user, and as soon as we create the user, it's gonna be asking us to go and download the CSV file here. We do have the CSV file available here. Okay, we are able to see the CSV file downloaded here. I'm gonna be trying to open it and gonna check that we have all the information available, such as username, password, access key, and secret access key. So we do have all the things available here, and we're actually going to be trying to make use of it. Okay, we're going to be going and trying to make use of it. We already saw how to use a username password using the console link, right? That is something we already covered. Now we are going to be going and trying to use the Amazon services through the command line interface. And to help you understand with the CLI, I'm going to take you to the CLI product page. So this is a CLI product page, right? So this is a CLI product page for us. And here on the page, we have all the information we need to work with the command line. Amazon does not want you to go and remember all these commands, right? It's not required for you to remember all these commands. We simply need to go and just make an awareness that how to use them. Okay, how CLI works. That is the whole objective. That is the whole idea of using the CLI. Okay, no need to memorize, cram all this information. Okay, so I'm gonna go and add all this information into the resources sheet so that you'll be able to go and use these links, use these pages. Okay. All right, in case if you don't have the link for the sheet handy, let me go ahead and share the link as well. Okay, I just sent the link to you, and the CLI is available here on this page. If we look at the getting started, this CLI is actually an additional package, and we'll be able to go and make use of this package on any of the platform. Okay, we'll be able to go and use this on Windows. We can go and use this on Mac. We can download and install that on Linux as well. On any of these operating system, you will be able to go and use the CLI. Okay, I'm actually going to be going and trying to show you on Amazon Linux, because Amazon Linux comes pre-installed with it. Okay, it says CLI comes pre-installed with it. So let's go and try using that on Amazon Linux, which comes pre-installed with it. Mean we need not to download and install this package. It's already there. So I'm going to be going and taking you to the Ec2 dashboard. Let me try opening Ec2 in one more window, and I'm going to be trying to create the Amazon Linux machine here, so that we can actually go and make use of the CLI commands. I'll go and say launch an instance. and Amazon Linux is the one which we are going to be going and making use of it. Okay. So after selecting it, I'm going to be going with the T2 micro, which is fine. So this is fine. All these options are good for me. Let that go into the default account. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Default storage works for me, and I'm going to be going and calling this machine as a CLI demo machine. I need to go and make use of the security group. Let me see, I have this NSEIT, and it gives me port number 22, which is very good. Okay, I'm good using the port number 22 here. Okay, so let's go and try creating the key here. Let me go and check if I have this key or not. Or let me go ahead and create new one. Why to depend on the old one? Okay, have the key and machine is getting ready. Once machine is ready, I'm gonna be going and trying to log into the machine with the help of the Mobax term. Okay, here on the command line tool, I do have one option here called Cli Reference Page. This CLI reference page is going to be showing that what all different commands are available we can use, what all different services we can consume through CLI. So how we'll be able to go and run these commands. It says these are all the services you can control with the help of a CLI. Okay, all these services can be managed through CLI. All right, which is very, very nice, which is very, very good. Okay, so here if you see on the list, you'll find there are going to be a lot many services which you are familiar with. We do have a CloudWatch, we do have a CloudTrail, we do have a EC2. Okay, we have our favorite EC2, we have a EBS. Okay, and if I continue to scroll this down, you'll find we do have a S3 as well. Here is the S3. So let's go and try using S3 here. I'm gonna go and click on would like to go and use S3. And as soon as I go to the S3 page, it is going to show me that what all commands are possible within S3. Okay, it's going to show me what all commands are possible within S3. So let me scroll it down, and here's a list of commands which I can go and make use within S3. I can use cp copy command, ls's list command, make bucket, move, remove, sync, and all that, right? Multiple commands available here. All right, I'm going to try to show you the ls command first. Let's see how the listing command works. Okay, so here in the listing command, there is an example given. We can actually refer an example here. So here is an example. It says I can actually go and make use of this command in this way. All the commands are gonna start with the keyword call AWS. Okay. All the commands are gonna start with the keyword call AWS. And then second place is for which service you want to work with. If you want to work with EC2, if you want to work with S3, or if you want to work with any other service, you need to go and mention that one. Okay, let's say I want to go and make use of S3 service, and then I'm going to say I would like to go and run a command called list for S3. So we are going to be going and trying to make use of this command, this example. So let's try running this command. Let's try running the mobax term, and then we'll try running this command. So please join me connecting to the Linux machine. I will go and get the details of my server, and we'll use the mobax term to connect to it. Okay, here I have the public IP. I'm going to go and use it, and then I'll take the mobax term to connect to it. All right, so here I am on the screen. Do you remember what is the default user created by Amazon on this server? Do you know the username? Okay, very nice. That's good. Yes, you all are right. We need to go and make use of EC2 user, right? That's right. So this is very, very nice. So I'm here on this box and I'm able to go and make use of the AWS commands here on the system, right? So how I'm going to be going and using it, I'm actually going to be going and clearing the screen first so that I can type the commands on the top. And I'm going to be simply copying and pasting the first command, which is called AWS S3 service, and I want to list. Okay, I would like to go and run this command. So if I'm going to be trying to run this command, it's actually going to give me an error. Okay, it's going to give me an error. It says unable to locate your credentials, which means it's not that anyone can go and create a machine with the command line on it and then start interacting with the services. We need to go and mention that which AWS account you want to use, what is the username password you want to use, which service you want to use, do you have permission to use that service, right? We need to share all that information before we go and start consuming it. Otherwise, we'll not be able to go and make use of it, right? Okay, so I'm good with it. Okay, as soon as I run the command, it gives me error, and it says you can actually configure your credentials by running this command called AWS Configure. I'm going to go and make use of this AWS Configure to configure my credentials on this machine. Let's try that. I will try to run this AWS Configure, and it's going to be asking me, please provide your access key here. Okay, it's going to give me that, provide me your access key here. Okay, so as I'm going to be going and trying to make use of this account, uh, my access key is available in the sheet which we have downloaded, right? We do have the access key and secret access key. It's acting as a kind of a username and the password. I'm going to be trying to make use of it now. Okay, that is what I'm going to be planning to use. Let me copy the access key here. Let me fill this in. It's going to be asking me provide the secret access key. I do have that as well. It's going to ask me that which region of the Amazon infrastructure you would like to go and communicate with. Okay, I need to give the region name here. All right. So how to get the region name? I'm going to be going back here to the console, and if you click on the region which is shown here on the upper right hand side corner, you will find we do have a region name and then followed by a code here. It says it is US East 1 for Northern Virginia. Okay, we actually need to provide a code here that which region we would like to communicate. So I need to actually make use of US East 1. Okay, I need not to mention Virginia. I need to mention the code for it, that is a US East 1. Let's go and specify that. Let's go and make use of it. So I'm gonna say US East 1 and gonna hit enter. So there are different type of a format of output you can use. I'm gonna say I would like to go and use a JSON format. Okay, so gonna be showing the output in the JSON format. And that's it. The credentials are configured for me, and I'll be able to go and talk to the S3 now. If I try running this S3 command, you see it start listing all the buckets here. Is that working for you? Is it showing you S3 information? Are you able to see what's there in the S3 for you? All right, very, very nice. Okay, very, very nice. So if I want to go and check it out that what is inside a specific bucket, I can do that as well. Okay, I can actually go and say, I want to see the content of a one specific bucket. For example, I can use a bucket name here called NACIT bucket, and it's gonna go and show me what's inside that. Okay, it says there's only one file called pic2. Is that good? Is that okay? All right, very, very nice. Okay, very, very nice. Okay, now what we're going to be trying to do, we are actually going to be going and trying to download some file from S3 on my local Linux box, and then we are going to be going and trying to upload some of the files there. Okay, we are going to be going and trying to download and upload some of the stuff there. Okay, let's see how that works. Okay, all right, let's try doing that. So now I actually need to go and use an copy command, and I'm going to take in help from the command CLI reference page. I'll say I want to see how to run a copy command. So here on this page, we do have an example for the copy. Okay, we do have an example given for the copy. All right. So again, it's going to be the same. I would like to use the AWS commands. I would like to work with the S3 service and want to execute a copy operation. And then I need to give a source and then destination. In my case, source is a S3 bucket this way. Okay, and destination is going to be my local folder, local system. That's how I would like to go and make use of it. Okay, that's how I wish to use it. All right, let's try executing it. Let's see how this works. I'm gonna take you back here and I'm gonna go and say okay, I'm gonna go and say AWS S3, and we want to use a copy operation this time. Okay, we want to use a copy operation this time. So AWS S3 copy. Where to copy? I want to copy it from S3 bucket, and the name of the bucket is NSEIT S3 bucket, and the file which I'm interested to download is the Ec2 JPG. And where I need to download? I need to specify a period here. Period means the current directory. Okay, period means the current location from where I'm running this command. So let's go and hit enter here, and it's gonna be, oh, okay, not happy with that. Okay, I think that there's a syntax error here. I should have given a double slash here. Okay, the syntax is double slash. Okay, it says it's downloaded. So as I have added a double slash here, it worked. This is the command which I have executed now. And if I say I want to see a listing, a long listing here, uh, it's gonna show me, yes, I do have that file available here locally on my system now. Okay, I'm able to see that, yes, I downloaded this file. I'm gonna be trying to upload this file back. Okay, so how I'm gonna be going and trying to upload back? I'm actually gonna be trying to save this file with a different name. I'll create a copy of it. I'll say I want to copy it, and I'm gonna say nsc file on linux.pdf. Okay, that's a new name I am trying to give this to this file. And there we go. I do have two files here now. Okay, there are two files now. All right. So then I'm going to be trying to upload this new file, which is PDF file, um, to the S3 bucket. Okay. So if I go and show you right now, there is only one file, but once I upload, there are gonna be two files which are gonna show up here on the S3 console. So let's try uploading it. I'm gonna say would like to say AWS and want to use S3 service and want to perform a copy operation. Now source this time is gonna be my local file. Okay, this is gonna be source here, and destination is going to be this bucket here. Okay, this bucket is going to be the destination, and that's it. I just need to use in the command in the reverse order. Let's hit the enter, and you will see it is going to be very quick to upload the file, and we are able to go and see the file over there in the S3 console. Okay, here we are, and there is a second file showing up here. Okay, we do have a second file showing up here. So is this okay? Is it working for you? Okay, all right. So which means I can actually go and associate with the, I can go and associate with the with the S3 storage, I can go and run all these commands from my on-premises servers. I can go and run that from any other servers in the cloud as well. It's going to be super easy for me to go and integrate this storage with any of these services anywhere. Is this okay? Does this make sense, guys? All right. So what we are going to be doing is we are actually going to be going and trying to do a one small project here. Okay. We are going to be trying to do a one small project here. So let's do that. Let me bring in an IAM project here. Okay. So this will give us an understanding that how IAM and all these things works together. So what we are going to be doing in this project is we are going to be trying to create a user and then going to be trying to work with that user and trying to perform some operations on some specific services. We are going to go and create a group this time, and the name of the group we want to create is system admin. And once we have this, once we have this group created, we want to, we want to go and attach a policy to it called Amazon EC2 full access, which means whoever is going to be going and trying to consume it, going to be able to, able to work through with the work with the service with the full permissions, with the full access. Okay, it's going to be able to go and use this. And after that, once we are able to go and create the group with this permission, okay, once we create this group with these permissions, we are going to go and create a user called Jeff. Okay, we're going to go and create a user called Jeff. And then we are going to go and make Jeff a member of the sysadmin group, which means Jeff is going to inherit these permissions. Okay, so Jeff is going to be able to inherit the permissions which are there in the group. Means Jeff is going to be having a Amazon EC2 full access. Okay, Jeff is going to be having a full access to the EC2 service. Then we are going to go and log into the Jeff and going to be trying to make two things here. And when you're going to be creating a user Jeff, so create user with uh, with the console with password and keys. Okay, which means that Jeff should be able to go and log into the console and should be able to go and use it access programmatically as well. Okay, that's the important thing to know. Then we're going to be trying to log into the console with the Jeff, and we're going to be trying to perform two operations. One, we will try to go and create a EC2 server, and we'll see that if we are able to create the server or not. Okay, we'll check that out if it is possible or not. What do you think? Will it be able to create that server or not? Will it be possible for Jeff to build a server? Okay, all right. Let's see if it is able to do so or not. And then we will try to create a S3 bucket with the Jeff account as well. Okay, we'll try to create the bucket with it. So do you think it's going to be able to create the bucket? Okay, very nice. So you know the results. Okay, you are already aware of that, what's going to be happening, right? That's a very good understanding. And then we are going to be going to do a step number 4, means we are going to be going and trying to stop the server using the AWS CLI. Okay, so means I'm going to be going and trying to use the credentials of Jeff. I'm going to use the secret key and secret access key for Jeff, and then going to run a command to stop the instance. So I'm going to go and give you a hint that this is the command using, but this is not a complete command, which means you need to go and check it out on the CLI reference page and check that how the complete command look like. So is this good? Do you think the requirement is clear to you? Would you be able to do that in next 10 minutes? I think you should be able to do that quickly, right? So I'm gonna give 10 minutes to you. So do let me know if you are able to complete this project in 10 minutes, or if you need any clarification, let me know. Okay. All right. I'm gonna add this here into the IAM project. All right, so we do have just 1 minute left, and I do see a message from Shri. He's already done. So that is great. That's a good job, Shri. So were you able to stop the server using the command? Were you able to do so? Okay, that is very, very nice. Okay, that is really, really good if you were able to stop that one. All right. All right, time is also up. So let me go and check it out that how many of you are able to complete that part. All right. Okay, I'm gonna be going and trying to add that here IAM project. And I think the link which I shared earlier was incorrect. Let me share the right link with you. All right. In the meantime, anyone having any questions? Okay, so if you're done with that, so please go and mark that as a done for you. All right, very, very nice. Shall we move forward? I'm actually going to be going and trying to introduce a one more concept here for you. Okay, we need to go and work with the one more concept here. Let me know if you're okay, and we can move forward. Okay, all right. So I'm going to be going and moving forward here. Okay, that's fine. Okay, one more minute. All right. All right. All right. Anyone needs any help or any questions you do have at this stage? Okay. So Shri is not able to download objects. Okay. Yes, Shri, I think it's a good idea. So let me go ahead and help you with the screen sharing permissions here. Okay. All right. Okay. Yes, Shri, I'm able to see your screen. Okay. Yep. You do have this bucket, and you do have files over there. Okay. So looks like you do have some spaces over there, right? If you check the file name which you have uploaded in the bucket, I think it got some. Yeah, it contains some space there, right? So try uploading some file which does not have space, or just rename that and upload that one more time. Let's go and delete both of them, and we'll upload one which does not have space there. All right. And before uploading, let's rename those. We'll just give them a simple name. Let's give them a file 1, file 2, and we'll use the lowercase, right? So there's not, should not be a problem for that. Okay. Let's call this as file 1, all lowercase. Yeah. And let's call the other one as a file 2, all lowercase. Yeah. Let's try uploading them now. Okay. All right, let's go to your system and see we are able to see those and download those. We need to go to your system now, your Linux box. Yeah, let's list them. That what all do you have now? So AWS S3 and list. Yeah, let's give the bucket name as well. LS and then bucket name. Yeah. Okay, we do have those files, which is very, very nice. Okay, we now go and use this command. All right, yes, we just need to replace the file name here. You can just select the file name, yeah, and just say dot. Dot means the current directory. Yeah, hit enter. And it's downloaded. Just say log listing. Yeah. All right, it's working. I think must be space or some. Okay. All right. Anything else? All good? Okay. Very, very nice. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. All right. All right. I'm back here. So looks like some of you are still pending here. Some of you are still trying to work through. Okay. Anyone needs help, or are we good to proceed further? Okay. I think we have a time for a break now. So if you are still working on it and do you need some more time, you can actually use the break time as well. And once we come back, we are actually going to be going and talking about a one more feature here, which is a part of the IAM, and which is known as roles. So I'm going to take you back here, and we do have something called roles here on the left hand side. and we're going to go and make use of the roles. Okay, that is something which we're going to be using next. Okay, all right. So let me bring in a clock and we'll go for our first break, which is of 10 minutes. Enjoy your break and complete your lab, and we'll continue afterwards. All right, everyone. So time up, and I'm back here. Please let me know if you're also back, and we can resume our session. Okay, thank you, Survey. All right, thank you, Mira. Looks like everyone is back here. That is great. That is very nice. Let's go and move on here with the IAM, and we're going to be going and trying to use something called roles. So let's see how to use the roles. So we can actually go and create a role, and then we can go and make use of roles with some Amazon services. So I'm going to be trying to create one role, and then we're going to be going to use this role for consuming a service. So how exactly this works? I'm going to be trying to explain you the difference between the users, permissions, and the roles now. So what we have done in the previous exercise is we have created a one EC2 machine. Okay, so there was a EC2 server which we have created, and then from that server we actually tried accessing the S3 services. Okay, we were trying to go and consume the S3 services. So in this process, when we were trying to go and EC2 service is going to be trying to consume the S3 service. Okay, in this process, what we did when we want the server to go and talk to S3, the server was not able to go and consume S3. Okay, it was not able to go and talk to the S3. And then we used the command called AWS Configure, and we actually created and stored the credentials on the box. Okay, we said we want to go and create the access key and secret access key, and then we stored those access key and secret access key on the box. Okay, so we created some keys, and we actually stored those keys on the box. Okay, we created the keys and we stored those keys on the box. And those keys actually belongs to Suzanne users, right? So Suzanne's keys were configured on the box, and Suzanne's keys were actually stored on the box. So creating keys and storing keys on the different location is not a good idea. Which means if you're going to be having some 10 servers or 20 servers or 50 or 100 servers, are you going to go and store these keys all over again, all over the places? And what if any of the keys get compromised? If someone steals these key or someone misplaces the key, some unauthorized person gets this key, they will also be able to go and make use of your services. So making use of these keys is not a good idea. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are actually going to be going and trying to make use of something called roles. How roles works? We actually go and create role, and then we actually bind the roles with the any of the Amazon service. For example, I can go and create a role for I can actually go and create a role for the EC2. Okay, I can say this is a role for me, and then I'm gonna go and assign this role to EC2 box. I'm not gonna go and configure that anything onto the EC2 server. I'm going to be creating an role and assigning this role to EC2 server so that can go and consume the S3. That is how it is gonna work. Let me actually show you where the keys are stored onto the EC2 and why we should not store them, right? Why it's a bad idea. I'll take you back here to my machine, to my Linux machine. You can actually join me, follow me in this exercise if you like. Okay. So as I'm here in the home directory of the EC2 user, I'm going to say ls minus la, which is going to display me all the hidden directories as well. Okay, it's going to show me much more files. Okay, All right, so I do see I do have a lot many more directories and files. I'm interested in going into this directory called .aws. Let me say cd and .aws. This is a hidden directory, and in this directory you will find we do have one file called credentials. Okay, the access key and the secret access key which you have created. Actually, the file is stored here, and all the information is in this file. Okay, you see your access key and secret access key is available here in a clear text format. Okay, so this is scary, isn't it? So you have your keys available here. So that is why using the access key, secret access key is not a good idea. Okay, so I don't want to go and use that route, and we are going to be going and trying to make use of the roles. Okay, so I'm gonna go and take you back here to the console, and I'm gonna go and say I would like to go and create a role. Okay, so let's go and try creating a role here and say create role. Now I need to specify that who is going to consume this role. This role is for whom? And I'm going to specify the EC2 is going to use this role. Okay, I'm creating this role for EC2 service. So once I select that who is going to consume this role, then I need to go and give the permissions. And you will see the same policies are going to be showing up here. So what should I choose here for the policy? What permission I need to give to EC2? What do you think? What permission I should go and choose? Yep, that is right. We need to choose the S3, right? So we are going to go and say we want to give S3 full access, right? That is what I'm going to be going to do and search here. So my role is going to have full access to this S3 service. Okay, let's go next and say I want to create this role, and I'm going to give the role hidden name here. I'm going to say it is going to be role for S3. Okay, it's going to be role for S3. And then we are going to go and hit the button, say create this role. So let's go and select, say I want to create this role. Okay. All right, is that fine? Shall we go ahead and hit the button create role? Are you with me? So are you able to create this role? Is that is that okay? All right. Okay, very nice. So I'm gonna go and hit the button, say create this role, and the role is gonna be created here. Okay, we'll see that we do have that role showing up here. Okay, we do have that role for S3 showing up here. It's gonna be created here. All right, that is very, very nice. Okay, that's very, very nice. Now I'm going to be trying to make use of it. So to make use of it, I'm actually going to be going and taking you back here onto the AWS dashboard. I'm going to remove the server which we have created earlier. I'm going to go and delete this one. I'm going to say instance state and terminate. So I'm deleting the previous server where we have the key stored. Okay, I'm just removing this. Okay, just removing it. All right. So Let this server go down. Okay, it's showing as terminated. I'm gonna go and try to create a new server here. I will again go and choose the same Amazon Linux here. Okay, I will choose the same one. All right. So let me select this one. I'm okay using the T2 micro. That's fine. Okay, I'm fine with that. So here on the screen, okay, so here on the screen, you will find it's gonna go and show us one option here. Say, do you want to assign any IAM role while building this server? Are you able to locate this option? Do you see this option over there? Which means when you're gonna be trying to create new server, you can actually go and assign a role at that point of time. Okay, you have an option to go and configure that over there. It's possible to assign a role. Okay, it's possible to give a role when you're going to be building a new machine. Okay, when you're going to be trying to assign, you can assign a new role while creating it. All right, so if you click in here in the drop down, it's going to show the role which we have created. Do you see the role which we have created showing up here? The role for S3, is it showing there? All right, very nice. Which means we can actually go and easily assign that here. Okay, we can actually go and easily assign that here. But how about if server is already created and server is already running, right? This is this is easy. This is gonna be something you will be able to do that real quick. Okay, this is something you will be able to go and do that on the fly while building the server. I'm not gonna go and assign it here because you already know this option. That's fine. I want to show you how to do that when the server is already up and running. So let's go and create the server without this option. Okay, we are gonna go and try to create the server without this option. Okay, so let's do that. I'm gonna say none. I'll leave that as blank. I'll go to storage, default one, tag. We'll call that as a Linux server 2. Okay. For the security, I'll continue to use the one which we have created earlier. That's absolutely fine. Okay. That's absolutely fine. All right. So after selecting it, I'm gonna go and say review and launch. Okay. And then I'm gonna be going and launching it. Okay. And using the key which we have just created now today. Okay, which you have an access to. Let's the server start. I'm just gonna be waiting for server to boot up, and I'm gonna be trying to connect to this server. Okay. All right, the server is showing that it is in the running state right now. And this particular details page also shows that if we are using any kind of a role or not. If I scroll this down, you have a one option here called IAM role, and right now it shows that no, we do not have any role assigned to this box as of now. Okay, so let me actually select the current running server. Okay, selected the wrong one, terminated one. Okay, here it is. Is this okay? Are you able to locate this option over here? Is this visible to you? Okay, all right, very, very nice. Very good. All right, now we are going to be going and trying to assign this role. But before that, we want to go and check it out if my commands are working or not. Okay, I'm not going to assign the role as of now. I'm going to go and try to perform a test once. I'm going to go and try to connect to this server. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so I'm gonna pick the public IP, and I'm gonna be going to connect to this machine through Mobax term. All right, we can close the previous terminal, start a new one. All right, this looks good. Let's connect to it. All right, we are connected. So I'm gonna try to fire the same command here. I'm gonna say AWS S3 NLS, and it's gonna throw me the same problem. Okay, and let me clear the screen. It's gonna show me no, you need to configure the credentials. Okay, it's not working. Do you see this error coming up? Do you see this? Are you logged onto this machine? Is this good? Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna be going in trying to assign a role to this box. Okay. So let's do that. I'm gonna go back here to the AWS console. I'm gonna go and select the machine on which I would like to go and assign the role. I'll go over to action, and then I will go to security. And that is where we have an option here called modify IAM role. All right. So once you locate this option, I'm going to go and select the role which I would like to assign. That is where the role for S3 is going to show up here. And I'm going to save this settings. Okay, I'm going to go and save, would like to save it. All right, let's do that. As soon as I'm going to be going and clicking on save, this is going to show up there in the details. If I refresh this page, it's actually going to go and show up in the details that we do have a new role here now. Okay, do you see the new role assigned? Is it visible here in the details for you? Okay, all right, very nice. Now we actually don't have to do anything at all on the server side. Okay, we need not to do any kind of a configuration here on this on the server side. We simply need to go and fire this command. Okay, we need to just go and run this command one more time, and as soon as you try running it here. Okay, there we go, it starts working. Is it working for you? Okay, so means we have actually not configured any kind of a credentials on the system, but it starts working because we do have the role assigned. So does this make sense, guys? Is it okay with you? Do you see how roles works? Okay, very nice. Any question, anyone? Anyone having any question here? Else, I'm actually going to be going and trying to do a recap here. I'm going to be summarizing that what the relationship we do have between users, groups, policies, uh, and roles. Okay, what relationship we do have. All right, I don't see any question here. All right, so let's go and summarize this one then. I'm going to take you back here to the drawing sheet, and I'm going to be trying to summarize it here for you. All right. Okay. So uh, the very first thing which is there on the top here is actually known as the permissions. Okay. Permission is something we're not going to be going and assigning that to all different components, right? So on the top we do have something called permissions, and permissions are actually called as policies. Okay. Policies are the actually the permissions which we are going to be trying to make use of it. And you can go and assign these permissions, you can go and assign these policies to all different components, right? We can actually go and try to assign this to groups. Okay. In the similar way, the exercise which we have done, right? You can give permissions to the groups, and you can actually have users assigned to the groups. Okay. We can actually make users member of the groups the same way which you have done in the exercise, right? You have done this in the exercise. You can actually go and give permissions directly to the users, right? You can assign policies directly to the users. That's also possible, right? Something which we have done previously. We have actually assigned uh, these policy directly to the users. All right. And the fourth one is the roles. And the roles is something you can actually assign the permissions directly uh, to the roles. All right. So this is how the relationship between all these components is. And the roles can only be consumed by the Amazon services, right? Only Amazon services can go and consume these roles. No one else is going to be able to use it. I cannot give these roles to users. I cannot give this to the groups. Only the Amazon services are going to be able to make use of it. Okay, I'm going to say it is going to be the AWS services. Okay, only the AWS services are able to go and consume it. You cannot assign the roles to users. You cannot go and assign the roles to the groups. Okay, that's how it's gonna work. So does this make sense? Is this relationship okay between the policies, groups, users, and roles? And and wherever possible, you should always be opting for roles. You should always choose roles over users. Okay. Anyone having any question here? Okay, no questions. That is very, very nice. So I'm gonna go and take you forward here. Okay, I'm gonna take you to the next step where we're gonna be going and trying to make use of roles. Okay, in the next topic, in the next exercise, we're actually gonna be going and trying to make use of roles a little bit more. The next service which I'm gonna be going and trying to introduce here is known as Lambda. So as soon as I try to search the Lambda, it says Lambda is a serverless computing platform, right? So we have not discussed Lambda so far, right? We have not talked about the Lambda. Okay, so let's see how Lambda works. So the concept with the Lambda is if we are going to be going and trying to execute any of our code, if we're going to be going and trying to work through any of the program, we need not to go and create our own machine. We can just give the code to Amazon to run. Amazon is going to be going and trying to execute those code on their own servers. Okay, and we just need to go and pay for the time our code is running. If my code is not running, I am not gonna go and pay anything at all. If my code is running for 30 seconds or 10 seconds or 5 seconds, I'm just gonna go and pay for that time. Okay? I'm only gonna be going and trying to pay only for the duration my code is running. That's it. If my code is not running, I'm not paying anything at all. All right. So that's why it is known as a serverless, because you do not have any kind of server to manage. The servers are going to be managed, server are going to be maintained, configured by Amazon. So once we use it, is going to make more sense to you. If I take you to the product page, it's going to say you can run the code without thinking about servers. Okay, you need not to think about the servers. You need not to worry about the servers. Servers are being managed by the vendor, and you only focus on consuming this service. Let's go and try consuming this service. Let's go and try using this service. I'm going to take you back here onto the AWS Management Console. And Lambda is a part of the compute section. So I'm going to go and click on say, would like to go and use Lambda. Okay. All right. So are you here on this page? Are you here on the Lambda dashboard? All right. Okay. All right. That is great. You are here on this Lambda page. So you do find that we do have an option here or button here called um, create a function, right? We do have option here called create function. Okay. So I'm going to go and try to make use of this option. I'm going to go and click on say I would like to go and create a new function here. Okay, so let's go and choose this. Okay, let's go and choose this. Okay, so as soon as you click here, say create the function, it's going to be going and asking you some basic questions here. Okay, it says, do you want to provide your own code? Okay, do you want to provide your own code here? Or do you want to use the code which is available here in the repository? Or you want to use some kind of a blueprint to start with? Okay, how do you want to get started here? Okay, how do you want to get started here? All right, so here uh, I'm actually going to be going and choosing that I will go and provide my own code. Okay, I'm going to go and try to use my code. In this example, in this demo, what we are going to do, we are actually going to be going and trying to create a function which will create automatic backups for my EC2 machines. We are going to be going and trying to make use of a Python code, and the Python code is going to be going and creating a backup for my machines. Okay, that is what we're going to be trying to do. And the code which we are going to be trying to make use of, that's actually available here on the GitHub. I'm going to go and try to make use of this code. Let me share this with you. I'm going to add that here in the resources sheet as well. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take you back here to the Lambda dashboard, and we are going to go and say we would like to go and author this from the scratch. And then we will go and provide some basic information here that what the name of the function is going to be. I'm going to call that one as my auto backup. Okay. Which means it's going to be helping me create automatic backups. Okay. Then I need to go and choose that what type of a runtime environment I need to go and make use of, right? So my code is actually written in Python. So I'll go and make use of Python here. So let me choose say Python is the runtime environment for me. And then it's going to be asking that, okay, you need to create certain permissions, okay? Because your code is going to go and check your EC2 servers and create a backup of it. What our code is going to be doing, it says the script is going to search for all the instances, and it's going to go and check for the servers with a tag called backup. Okay, it's going to go and check it out if the server is having a tag called backup or not. If you have a server where the tag is called backup, it is going to go and then try to run a command called create image, and then going to be trying to create a backup image of it. Which means for this automation, we are going to be going and making use of tags. And this particular script is going to be going and running on all the EC2 servers. So which means we need to actually create a permissions for EC2. Now Lambda is a one service, and it is going to try to access one more service called EC2. So how I can give permissions? So should I go and create users, or should I go and create roles? What do you think? Okay, Sri says we need to create roles. Let me see other responses as well. All right, Surbi says roles. All right, Mira says roles. Okay, looks like everyone says roles, but why? Why do we need a roles here? Why not users? Why roles? Why not users? Okay, yep, that's correct. So roles are gonna be dealing with the AWS services, right? That's why we're gonna be going using the roles. So here on this Lambda dashboard, it says we need to create a permissions, and I need to say I want to change the default execution permissions. And I'm gonna say I want to use an existing role, but we do not have a role here. So means we are gonna be going and trying to create a role here. So I'll try to go to the IAM service, and I'm going to be trying to create a role here. So I'm here on the IAM management console, and then I'm going to go and click on the roles. And this is where I'm going to be trying to create the role for Lambda. Okay. I'm going to go and say I want to create a role. And which service is going to use this role? Who is going to use this role? What should I choose here? Okay. You're right, Rahul. Okay, you're right, Sri. All right, Sanal, you are also correct. Okay, thank you, Nitish. You are good. So we actually going to be going and trying to create this role for Lambda because Lambda is going to use this role to talk to EC2. So I'll go and select the Lambda here. And what permissions I need to give? I need to give the EC2 full permissions, right? So it's going to be going and able to use the EC2. Okay, I'll go and choose, say I want to give Amazon EC2 full access here. All right, and we are gonna go and click on the next as a tags. We don't need any tags, but we need to go and define the role name. Okay, so I'm gonna say this is a role for Lambda. Okay, it's a role for Lambda, and we're gonna go and hit the button say create this role. All right, it's gonna be very quick creating this role. That is very nice. And as soon as I go here onto the dashboard, and if I try refreshing it, the role which we have created is gonna show up here in the drop down. Okay, we're able to see the role which we have created here. Role for Lambda is showing up here. Is that good? Is the role ready? Are you able to use it? All right, very nice. Okay, we are able to go and use it. That's nice. Let's go ahead and hit the button say create the function. Okay, we are hitting the button called create function, and it start creating this my auto backup Lambda function here for me. And if I scroll it down, it's gonna go and show me that we do have one sample Python function added here. Just go and double click on that. It's gonna be showing a simple hello world code here. Okay. We do not want to make use of this hello world code. Okay. We don't want to use this hello world code. We are actually interested in we are interested in our own code from the Git. So I'll copy the code from the Git and I will try to use that code from the Git. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do next here. So I'm gonna go over to Git and I'm gonna copy this one. So to copy this in easy way, we can actually go and click on the raw button here. Okay, it's only gonna go as and show us the code, nothing else. Okay, in that way it's gonna be much easier for us to go and choose the code. Okay, nothing else. All right. All right, so I'm going to be going and clicking on the raw here, and then it's going to be showing all the code in the new page. Okay, this is all the code I have. I simply need to go and say Control A, select all, Control C, copy, and then come to Lambda screen and gonna say Control V, paste, and I'm good. I have copied all the data here. I have copied all the 105 lines here. Okay, in just one go, in one shot, I'm able to copy everything in here, which looks good, which looks nice. Is that fine? Is that okay? Are you able to copy this one? All right, that is great. Okay, that is very, very nice. And I'm gonna go and save this. So to save this, I'm gonna go and click on deploy button. So as soon as I click on deploy, it's gonna save this one. Okay, it is saved. Okay, it is saved. All right, now I'm gonna go and test this out and see how this works. We are all set to test this out. So to test this out, I'm gonna go and click on the test button here. Okay, we do have a test button here, and I'm gonna go and make use of this test button. Okay. All right, let me go and click on this test here. So as soon as I click here on the test, it says, do you want to pass any kind of a values while running this program? Do you want to pass any kind of a command line arguments to run this? I'm going to say no. My program does not require any kind of a command line values, any kind of any kind of a, arguments to pass here. Okay, I'm okay executing it without it. Okay, I'm perfectly okay without it. I need not to pass on any of the variables here. So I'll just use this as is, and I'm just gonna give it a name called test. Okay, I'm gonna just keep that as test here. All right, let's do that. Okay, let's do that. I'm simply gonna go and call this event name as test, and then scroll it and say create this. So we are all good to go and test this out again. Okay, we do have the values selected with what all we want to pass it on, and we are all good here now. Okay, let me go ahead and click the test here. All right, and it's going to be showing some of the execution results. And it's going to be very quick executing it. It says my code actually got executed in just 235 milliseconds. And my billing is actually in the milliseconds. I got billed for 232nd milliseconds, right? 236 milliseconds. So my billing is also done in the milliseconds. Okay, this is very, very nice. Okay, this is really, really nice. But if I look at the logs, it says there are no servers which need to be backed up. Okay, found 0 instances. There are no servers which are eligible for the backup. So what is the eligibility criteria which we have selected, which we have seen in the script? What should I do? Okay, yep, that is correct. So I need to work with the tags. I need to have a tag which is going to be helping me create a backup, right? The code says if you have a tag called backup, then only it's going to work. So backup in the lowercase. So I'm going to go and try to create this tag, okay, with this tag. So let me take you back here to the EC2 instances. We have this server selected, and when you select this server, we do have an option here called tags. Okay, we do have an option here called tags, and I need to go and make use of this tags here. Okay, I need to go and make use of this tags here. Right now we have only one tag here called name. I'm gonna go and try to add a one more tag here. Okay, I'm gonna be trying to add a one more tag here. I'll go and say click on manage tag here, and then I will try to add a one more tag here. Click on this button, manage tags. We just need to add a tag called backup. Value can be anything. Okay, the key need to be backup. The value can be anything. Okay, let's try with that. I'm gonna go and say manage the tags. I'm gonna say add tag here, and it's gonna be backup. And value is, let's say, true or on or yes or whatever you want to say. Okay, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Let's go and save this one, which means this Linux box is gonna be eligible for the backup now. Okay, and if I go and try to check the AMI or the image here in the next tab, you'll find right now we do not have any of the images here in our account. Okay, there's no images which exist here in my account as of now. Okay, it says you do not have any of the images here in this account. Okay, this is good. I'm gonna I'm gonna go over to the instances, and I'm gonna check the tag is added, and let me refresh it. So that's gonna show that we do have that tag now. Okay, we have a tag called backup here now, which is good, which is nice. And we are gonna be going and trying to execute this function one more time. I'm gonna go and close the previous results, and I'm gonna say would like to go and execute this one more time here. Okay. So let's do that. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to go and click on say test, and it's going to be showing the execution results. And this time the results are pretty vast here. Okay, a lot of information here. So it actually got one instance, which is T2 micro. It got the instance ID. It's going to be trying to create the image for it. Okay, looks like it is doing some work now. It created that image here. And if I go and check it out on the AMIs, there should be one image which is going to be showing up here now. Okay, that is one which is triggered by Lambda, and it is going to be showing as a pending right now. Okay, showing that we do have one of the image starting here now, which is in the pending state gonna be created here. Is it creating backup for you? Is this doing automatically stuff for you? All right, that is great. That is very, very nice. Okay, that is really, really great. That's awesome. So we are going to be going and now thinking of how I can automate this. Okay, is it possible that I can actually trigger this particular function at a specific interval? How about if I want to go and run this, every day? I want to go and execute that maybe 3 in the morning. I want to do a backup 3 in the morning every day. How I can actually schedule that, how I can actually go and create an automation around that, okay? How it's possible to get to that. So for that purpose, I'm actually gonna be going in, taking you to one of the service here called CloudWatch, and we are gonna be taking help of the CloudWatch to do so. Let's try opening a CloudWatch here in the new tab. Okay, we're gonna be trying to open a CloudWatch here. Okay, and then here on the left hand side, you do have one option here called events. And I'm going to be going and interested in working with the events here. Okay, let's go and make use of these events. So as soon as you click here on the events on the CloudWatch dashboard, it's going to be showing you getting started button. So let's use that one. Okay. And then it says, do you want to create a kind of a pattern or you want to create a schedule? So I'm going to say I would like to go and create a schedule here. Okay, I'm going to be selecting a schedule here. Okay. All right, and I'm going to be going and choosing a cron expression here. Okay, with the help of the cron, we can actually go and define that when I want this to be executed automatically. I can go and click on learn more button here, with the help of which I'll be able to go and create a pattern here. So I can go and make use of a notepad to create that pattern here. On this page, there are certain values or fields given, and we need to go and use these fields. First is minute. I want to run that at 0 minutes. Hours, I want to run that at 3 in the morning. I want to do that every day, okay, every month. I want to ignore the day of the week and which year I want to execute. I want to do that throughout 2021. That's a year field I need to give. So I need to specify all these fields here. Once I specify all these fields, I simply need to go and copy and paste it over there, and it's going to be going and following this schedule. Okay, it's going to be going and trying to follow this schedule. Let me go and fill in here in the CloudWatch and say I want to execute during this time. And it's going to say, okay, it's going to be looking like this, means it's going to be executing every day 3 in the morning. Okay, this looks great. This looks nice. I also need to go and specify that what I want to do during that time. Okay, I have defined that schedule, but what you want to do, I'm going to say this is what I want to do. I'm going to go and add a target here. And as soon as you add a target, there's a Lambda function, and I can select the function which we have created called my auto backup, which means I want CloudWatch to go and run this my auto backup function every day 3 in the morning. Okay, that's very much it. So does this make sense? Is this okay? Is this fine? Do you have any questions here? Is Lambda and creating a schedule around that works for you? Anyone having any question here for Lambda? Okay, how I work with the cron, the values. Actually, when you come here on the CloudWatch, when you select the cron expression, there is an option here called Learn More. Okay, it's called Learn More. Once you click here on the Learn More, it's going to be going in trying to show you what all fields you need to specify. It says you need to specify all these fields. First is minutes field, then hours, then day of the month, then day of the week, and then year. And then I have chosen the fields here. I say minutes are 0, hours is 3, which day of the month? All days of the month is star, all days. Which months? All months. Do you want to do that on a specific day of the week, means Monday or Tuesday or maybe every Sunday? I can say no, ignore that one. Okay. And for which year? Last is the year field. So I have specified the year is going to be the current year 2021. Okay, it's going to be 2021. So does this help? Okay, very nice, Surbi. All right. Any questions, anyone? Okay. Okay. So let's go for a break here. We are going to be having a longer break now. So once we come back, we are going to be going in trying to work with the database service, right? We have not seen the databases. We are going to be going in trying to work with the databases now. Okay. Okay. So Nitesh is saying for creating the AMI, we did the stopping in creating it. Okay. Lambda is doing long steps to create it. Actually, no. Lambda is actually going to be trying to help us create an automation so that we don't have to do that manually. Any server I create, any server is going to be having an going to be having a tag called backup. Lambda is going to go and create the backup for all of them, maybe 10 servers, maybe 100 servers, maybe 1,000 servers, right? And it's going to do that every day. So that is why we are able to do the automation for creating backups and the images. So you don't have to do that manually. So does that make sense, Nitish? Okay. All right, very nice. So let's bring in the clock for 20 minutes here. Enjoy your break. Talk to you in 20 minutes. All right, folks, time up and I'm back here. Let's go and resume our service, right? Let's go and resume our session here. Okay, please let me know if you're also back and we are good to resume. Okay, okay, all right. All right. So the next what we are going to be trying to do here is we are going to be trying to clean up what all stuff we have created here. Okay. So the benefit of using the function is if you're not running your function, you do not need to pay any charges. There is no EC2 machine you're running. There is no operating system for you. There's nothing to worry about at all. You're giving this code to Amazon to execute. Amazon is executing that for some time and you're just paying for that time. That's it. Okay, that is what the serverless technology is. Hope this makes sense, guys. Is it okay? All right. So we are gonna go to function and gonna be going and trying to delete this one. Gonna say I don't need it. Go and say delete. Okay, that is gone. I'll go to the IAM and I'm gonna be going to try to delete some of the roles which we have created. Okay, I do have some of the roles here which I would like to go and delete. All right, let them go away. I'll delete the user as well which we have created. Okay, I'll go to the users and I think the Suzanne user is something I'm gonna go and delete that. Then I'm gonna be going and trying to uh, okay, we'll keep this server. Okay, we'll not delete this server. We're gonna be going and making use of this Linux server which we have created. So please keep that. But we're gonna go and delete the image here. Okay, the AMI which we have created. So I'm gonna go and select the image and gonna say deregister it. And then I'm gonna go over to the snapshots and we're gonna go and try removing these snapshots as well. Okay. 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 All right. I'm gonna go and delete this snapshot as well and let that go away. Okay. Looks good. And I don't think so. We do have anything else if I go and check it out here. Okay. Okay. This looks good. I'm okay with it. Okay. I'm okay with it. So now let's go and try using the next service here called database. And actually we touched upon the database earlier, but I'm going to be going and trying to make use of it in a little detailed way. And then we are going to be going and trying to connect to that database as well. Okay. So the database service which you are going to be going and trying to use is called relational database service. All right. So relational database service is a fully managed database service, which is going to help you consume the database service without actually managing it. So Amazon is actually going to be managing that for you, taking care of it for you, and you just go and consume it. Okay. So how to work with it? We are going to go to the AWS console, and that is where we are going to be going and trying to use uh, we're going to be going and trying to use a service called RDS. So here on the RDS page, which we are going to be going and saying, I want to create a new database. So I'll go and click on say create database. So are you here on this RDS page? Are you on this RDS dashboard? All right, so let's go and hit the orange button here, say create this database. And we'll go and use the standard create, and we'll go and make use of MySQL here. Okay, we say I want to create a MySQL server here. All right. Okay, so as soon as I go and use the MySQL here, so I'm gonna go and scroll it down, and I'm gonna say I would like to go and make use of this for the testing environment. If we go and use the production, in the production way, it is going to create multiple servers, the master and the standby, okay, the primary and the standby. If something goes wrong with the primary, it is automatically gonna go and fail over to the secondary one, and it will also take care of the replication between these two servers. Okay, everything is gonna be done here. I will call this as my RDS server. I'll call this one as my RDS server. And for the credentials, I'm gonna go and keep the credentials as my RDS user. I'll keep my password also the same. Just make a note of the password which you're going to be going in and storing here, because that is something we need when we're going to be going and connecting to this server. Okay, when we are going to be trying to consume this database, we need to make use of this username and the password. Okay. All right. So I will go ahead and make use of it. So my username and the password are the same, so that there's going to be no confusion or I'll not forget. I will go and make use of the free tier, that means in the bus table. I'll say include previous generation, and it's automatically going to be selecting the T2 micro. I will say T class, and I will say include the previous generation. So it'll go and pick up the T2 micro automatically. Okay, this looks good. And default 20 gig of storage is required for configuring your database. Okay, that is something mandatory. We can go up to 16 terabyte, but 20 GB is required. You can also go and use the auto scaling storage feature as well, which means if your database is going to be running low on storage, it is automatically going to go and add more storage here. For this demo, we don't need it. Okay, we are okay without it. This is the same option. I'm not sure why Amazon is asking this question again. Do you need a multi-AZ deployment? Do you want to create multiple servers, the primary and the standby? Okay, so we have seen that how to work with the VPCs, right? We can actually go and choose the different VPCs if we want to go and create. Okay, it says, do you want to make use of do you want to deploy the server in a different VPC or not? Okay, that is something we can make use of it here. All right. All right, I'm gonna go and use the default one. Okay, I don't need the choose something different, that's fine. Now the next option here is that do you want your database to be accessible on the internet or not? So here on this option, you can actually go and make a choice that I want to go and connect to my database from internet, okay? Or you can say, no, I want to keep my database as a private one. I don't want it to be available or accessible on the internet, okay? That is the one option you can choose. All right. So I will actually for this demo say yes, because I want to show you that how you can connect it from your local laptop, okay? How you will be able to go and connect to it from your local laptop. That is what I'm going to be planning to show that to you. So let's try using it. Okay. All right. So I'll make it public. Okay. I'm going to be going and selecting saying public is fine. And then I'm going to be going and trying to scroll it down. That is where we need to specify the firewall. Okay. And we need to open a specific port in the firewall. So which port we need to go and open here in the firewall? It's actually given here below. Okay, so if you go and expand the additional configuration, it says 3306 is the port which way it is going to work on. Okay, it's going to go and work on this particular port. All right. Okay. So now here I'm going to go and make the choice that which security group I want to use. I will definitely don't want to use the default firewall here. I will go and say I would like to go and make use of firewall, which is a NSCIT which we have created. And I will go and edit this firewall later and add the port number 3306 as well. Let's do that right away. I will go to the Ec2 dashboard and I'm going to be trying to add this port in the firewall, okay, so that we are able to go and connect to this box. On the Ec2 dashboard, we have security groups mentioned, and I'm going to be going and trying to edit the security group, which is NSCIT firewall. Okay, I'm going to go and change that. Looks like I do have many firewalls here which I don't need. Let me go and try removing some extra stuff here. Okay. Now I'm going to be trying to modify the NSCIT firewall here. I'll go to action and I say, okay, I can do that here, right in the inbound rules. Okay, I need not to modify above there. I do see that it is going to be having some standard stuff added here, but I will go and add a 3306 as well in here. So on this long list, I can actually go and remove for the IPv6 as well. I don't need those entries, unnecessarily making it a lengthy one. I'll go and add a one rule here. I don't need the NFS as well. We are done using it. So I'll say I would like to go and use the MySQL or Aurora. It's predefined over there. And as soon as I select the MySQL Aurora, it's going to be showing that it is going to be working on the 3306. Okay, automatically going to pick that up. All right. Okay, let's choose this one and I'm going to open that up for everyone. So I'll select 0 here and then I'm going to go and save this one. Is that fine? Is that okay? All right. So let me go and try saving this one. Okay, I'll go and save these rules and we are good. We'll be able to go and connect to this database by using this particular firewall. Okay, we are all good here. Let me return back here to the RDS dashboard and continue to build it. So it says which firewall you need to use. I say NSEIT firewall is good for me. And I'm going to go and scroll it down. Authentication is going to be based on the password. That's good. And I'm going to go and click on the additional configuration. It says, do you want to build any kind of a database on this database server? Which means as soon as the server is ready, do you want to create any kind of a default database on it? We can try one. I'm going to go and create a finance database, which means when I'm going to be going and trying to log into this machine, I should be able to see that there's a one database which exists, right? I'll be able to see that over there. Okay, so that is fine. And then we will uh, we will continue to scroll down. It is automatically going to be doing a backup for us. Okay, which means I need not to bother about the backups. It's going to be performing the backups as well. I'll go and say I don't need automatic backups here. Okay, standard monitoring, CloudWatch, 5 minute, but it is saying enhanced monitoring, which is 1 minute. 1 minute. I don't need enhanced monitoring. I'm okay with the standard monitoring. I don't need backups. I don't need detailed monitoring. I'm okay with the standard monitoring. All right. All right. So next is we can actually consolidate all the log information with the CloudWatch. If you are going to be going in working for an organization and the organization actually going to be going in having a, multiple database servers running for them, which means you are not actually going to be, dependent on one single server, but you have a responsibility of managing a lot many different servers, right? So in that way, you are actually going to be, you are actually going to be going and consolidating logs in a centralized location. Okay, you're going to be going and trying to consolidate that in a centralized location so that so that uh, you will be able to see all the logs in a centralized location, right? It's not scattered. You don't have to go to and check for each of the database there. So that is where it is going to be helpful. Okay, that's where it's going to be very helpful. All right. So I'm not gonna go and specify any kind of a log information here. That's absolutely fine for me. Okay, not gonna be going and trying to use here anything. So I'll continue to scroll it down, and we do have one section here that, do you want Amazon to do automatic patching? I'll leave that on. You are free to select any kind of maintenance window as well, and there is a child lock as well. I'm gonna use them as is, scrolling it down, and then gonna hit the button say create the database. Okay, is this fine? Are you here on the create database? Do you have any question here on the screen? Anything on your mind? Any question here on the screen? Okay, hope this is fine. Okay, so let's go and hit the button say create this database. Okay, let's go and hit the button called create database. So it will start creating this database for us. So now one question for you. Okay, there's one question I have for you. So when we tried building this particular server, okay, when we tried building this server, so what's the operating system we have chosen? Okay, uh, what's the operating system we have chosen? We have chosen Linux or we have chosen Windows. All right. Okay, yes, you're right. So we have actually not selected any kind of operating system, Rahul. You're right. Okay, we did not select any operating system. So Amazon does not allow us to go and use the operating system because operating system is something being managed by the Amazon. We are not responsible for managing the operating system. So we don't have the access to it. We'll not be going and managing it. We are going to be just trusting Amazon to take care of it. Okay, Amazon is going to be going and taking care of that. All right. Okay, so right now it is showing that it is creating. Once it is created, we need to go and try to connect to this database server. So we will not be able to use the operating system access, but we can go and make use of the database client, and we are going to going and connecting it. I can use a Linux client or I can use Windows client as well. Okay, the Windows client is known as Workbench. Okay, there's a one very popular Linux client called MySQL Workbench. You can use any other client as well if you have already installed something on a laptop. And what we can go and make use of on the Linux side is we can go and install the Linux package over there. That is something I'm going to be showing you. I'm going to be showing you both ways how to connect from Linux and how to connect for Windows. If you don't have this installed or do not have permissions to install this on your laptop, that's fine. You can skip this, you can ignore this. But on Linux within the Amazon, you can definitely check that out. Okay. For that, we do need the Linux machine which already exists in our account. We'll continue to use that one. So I'm gonna take you back here and let me check if my database is available or not. Okay, it's still creating. Is it done for you? Is it created for you? Is it able to show you that is good for you? Or is still getting ready? Okay, still creating. Okay, when we say finance database, what exactly is gonna happen? Nothing. There is gonna be a database already created on the server. When we go and say show databases, we'll see that there's gonna be one database show up over there. Okay, that's it. It's gonna go and create one database automatically. Okay, all right. So it is available for me and looks like it is created for you as well. Very, very nice. Now we are actually going to be going and trying to connect it via Linux machine which we have. So looks like I'm already connected to that Linux machine. So this is where we were trying to work with that Linux machine. Are you also connected? If not, go and connect that, please. All right. Okay. I hope you are connected. The very first thing which we are going to be doing here is we are actually going to be going and trying to uh, install the SQL client. Okay, we will go and try installing the SQL client here. So let's do that. Okay, let's do that. All right. So how to install the SQL client? I'm gonna go and say yum install MySQL, and yes, it's a pretty simple command, standard command, which we're gonna be going and making use of it. Okay, go ahead and use this. Okay. All right, I hope you are also able to run this command. I'm gonna go and hit enter, and I've shared this command with you in the chat window. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and say hit enter here. All right. It says I do not have a permissions to run this command. That's fine. I can simply go and add a root here in front of this command. Okay, that's gonna help it execute. I'm gonna go and say sudo, and it's gonna work. All right. So this particular client is installed here, and I will be able to go and make use of it. Okay, it's installed, and I should be able to make use of it. All right. Okay, thank you, Surbi. It's done for you. Good. Now I'm going to be actually going to connect to this particular server which we have created. Let me clear the screen, and then I'm going to be trying to connect to the server which we have created. So to connect to the server, okay, to connect to the server, we need to go and use the command called MySQL. So MySQL, and then I need to provide the host name to which host I would like to connect to. Okay, so MySQL space -h, and I actually need to give the host name, the database server name to which I'm going to be going and trying to connect. Okay, which I need to connect to. All right. So I will get the host name from the AWS console. So if I go and click on this server, it's actually going to be showing me the information about the server. I do have a very first tab here called connectivity and security, and I'm going to be trying to make use of it. And that is where we have an endpoint given, and this is actually a server name. Yeah, it's actually a server name which we are going to be consuming. Okay. So I'm going to go and make use of this endpoint as a server name. I'll simply copy this one, and then I will paste that onto the terminal. I'm going to say this is the host name I would like to go and connect to. All right. So after that, I actually need to go and specify the username, and username is going to be specified with the hello minus u. I'll say space, and minus u is the username, and I'm going to give a username called my RDS user. That is what I have specified. In case if you have chosen some different username, please feel free to use that one. Okay. I've actually used this one, so I'm going to go and use this my RDS user here. Okay. All right. And the last thing is we need to go and specify the password. And password is something I'm going to specify with the -p. Okay. -p means I'm going to be prompt me the password, and I'm going to be supplying you the password. Okay. Ask me the password, prompt me the password. So let me go and then hit enter. This becomes the complete command. And let me try using it. Okay. Let me try using it. Let me go and hit enter. And you will find it's going to be asking me the password. Say what your password is. And my password is actually the same as my username. So I'm going to go and type the same. It's not going to show you any kind of stars or anything. Just go and type it and hit enter. If your username and the password is correct, so it's going to go and give you a welcome screen. And on the screen, you will be able to go and run all the database commands. You will not have access to the operating system, but you will be able to go and directly connect with the database. And this is the place where on this MySQL prompt, you'll be able to go and run the database commands. You can go and say show databases, and it's going to be going and showing you what all different databases are there running on this box. And you remember, we actually created a finance database as well. So it's showing that yes, this is the same box we created, and it automatically created the finance database as well on top of it. All right. So is this okay? Are you able to connect to your database? Anyone connected with it? Okay, Rahul is connected here. That is good, Rahul. Okay, yep. Looks like a lot of you have connected. That is great. That is very, very nice. Okay. I'm also going to be going in showing you how to connect that with the help of the MySQL, right? But it's going to be completely optional for you. You don't have to go and download that and try using it, right? You can watch me doing it. Okay. Okay, is it showing you access denied? Which means you might have given an incorrect password, or you might have not opened the port in the firewall. So please check these two things and should work. All right. Do you want to share a screen? We can quickly troubleshoot that where you are wrong, or you want to try it yourself. Okay. All right. Screen share. Very nice. Good thought. So let's go and do that. Okay. So what the password you have used? Are you sure it's the password you have given? And and are you typing that password and then hitting enter? Okay. Okay. All right. Very nice. Let's go and check it out the firewall on the Ec2 dashboard. Okay. If we have everything good there. Okay, please come down and you are using an SEIT firewall which is active, which is publicly accessible. This looks great. This is very, very nice. Okay, the one thing is good. Let's go to your server now. Let's go to the EC2 management console. All right. Yeah, let's go and check the security tab. And you have 22, you have 3306, and it's also good there. So it means the password is incorrect, which you are trying to use. And we can go and reset the password. Okay, all this is good. All this is fine. So I want you to go to the Rds console here. Okay, now I want you to go to the configuration, the fourth tab here below. All right. So scroll it down, and this is where your username is given, right? My username is this one. We are gonna go and try to edit this one. Go up. No, go up. Okay, yeah. Try keep going up. On the top, you have a button called Modify. Yep. Click on this one, and here it's gonna be going and showing you all the options. Okay. All right. Yeah. Give the new password here. All right. All right. So come all the way toward the end. Yeah, leave everything there. So keep scrolling toward the end. Yep, continue. Okay. And say apply immediately. Okay. On the left hand side, you have apply immediately. Yep. That's great, and modify it. Okay, it's gonna be doing a modification real quick, and go and give it a one more try here. Okay, one more time. Okay, so we want to make sure the username you are using is the right one. Okay, is it my RDS server or it's my RDS user? Let's go to your dashboard. We'll check over there what the username you have given. Okay, I think Rahul pointed that out. Yeah, click in here. Yeah, scroll it down. Go to the configuration part. Okay, scroll it down. So yeah, your username is master username is myrds. Okay, so username is myrds underneath the availability. Yeah, this is what you're using. So is the reason it's a good idea to note it down on a pen and paper, right? So keep a pen and paper with you and note it down. Let's use this username and the password you gave. Okay. Okay, this looks good. Hit enter. All right, there we go. So that was a good catch, Rahul. Thanks for pointing that out. Okay. Okay, all right. You can thank you, Rahul here. Okay. All right. Anything else, anyone? Okay, looks like it's working for most of you. So she is also done. And how about you, Shubham? And how about Mohammed? So do we have Mohammed today? Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. All right, thanks for the note, Shubham. Okay, very, very nice. So we are done using this one, right? So that is very, very nice. I'm going to be going and showing you how I will be able to go and make use of Workbench Windows client, how this works. Let me pull the client here. Okay, here is the Workbench. Oh, it's starting here for me. Okay, there we go. It opened. Let me delete the old connection which I have created. I'm gonna go and try to create a new connection for you. So I think I'm using a little older clientware, old version here. So you may have a kind of a latest version looking a little different. Okay. So I'm going to be going and trying to click on here an addition sign, which means I would like to go and add a new connection here. I would like to go and attach a new connection here. Let me go ahead and click on plus sign. And then I'm going to be going in connection name. I'm going to be calling that one as I'm going to be going and calling that one as my RDS. Okay. And the host name, I will go and pick up the host name given in the RDS dashboard. Endpoint is my host name. I'll go and make use of it. A username is which I have chosen as my RDS user. And then I'm going to go and I would like to test this connection if it is working before I go and try connecting to it. Okay, I would like to go and test this out first. All right, let's do that. I'm going to go and say I want to test it. It's going to be asking me the password. Okay, my password is also the same. All right, let's go and try connecting it. It's going to say all successful. And I'm going to say okay. And the icon is going to show up here. The next time you want to connect to it, you simply go and double click here and it's going to be going and trying to connect here automatically. Okay, let me go and say I want to connect to it. Connect. All right. Okay, it's connecting, and the GUI is very, very intuitive. Okay, it's very nice. It shows you a lot of good colorful graphics here. Okay. All right. Okay. So if you go and check it out on the left hand side, you do have a finance database also showing up here. And if you expand this one, you will be able to go and get more details about it. If I go and click in here, then what exactly is this? There are tables, views, function, and a whole lot of other stuff, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go and click on the dashboard, and the dashboard is gonna be showing me some interesting numbers and colorful graphs. All right, so this is how you will be able to go and make use of the client which is Windows based, and you'll be able to go and make use of the client which is Linux based. Okay, you'll be able to go and use this one. Is this fine? Is this okay? Anyone having any question here before we go and start deleting this database here? All right, I do see no questions here. That is good. So is RDS free to use? No, it is not free, but it is actually a part of the free tier. Okay, you can actually go and try this out for free. But if you're going to be going and trying to use any other model than T2 Micro, you need to pay the charges for it. Okay, you need to pay the charges for that. Okay, I'm going to close this one, and then I'm going to be trying to delete this. I say action, and let's go and delete that. We don't want to leave that running. I don't want to create a final backup here, and I'm gonna simply say delete it. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go and let this go away. All right. This is great. This is very, very nice. Okay. So it is deleting, and I don't have to pay any kind of charges for it now. Okay. I can go and delete the EC2 instance as well. We are done with it. Don't need that anymore. I'm gonna go and introduce a one more database service here to you. The next database service which we are going to be talking about is Dynamodb. Okay. We are gonna be going and trying to use this Dynamodb service here. All right. What is Dynamodb? Dynamodb is a NoSQL database service, which means I need not to go and predefine a schema for entering the data. It's gonna be a flexible database service for me, and I'll be able to go and use it without defining any kind of a structure in advance. It's again going to be kind of an unlimited storage on this database. Means I'll be able to go and make use of it for entering any amount of data. Okay, there's no restriction on that. So I'm gonna take you back here to the AWS console, and you can join me in this demo, okay, where we are going to be going and see how this works. Within the database section, I'm going to go and make use of the Dynamodb. Okay, I'm going to go and choose that I want to work with the Dynamodb here. And it does not ask you to choose any kind of a version or any kind of a database you want to create. It simply start creating a table. Okay, directly you will be able to go and create a table here. That's the button given to you here. Okay, nothing else is going to be required. Okay, so as soon as you go and click on, say, I would like to go and work with the table, it's going to ask you to provide just a very basic information about the table. It says what the name of the table you want to use and what is the kind of unique key you would like to go and consume. Okay, what is the kind of one column you want to create. Just a one single column is required for you to define, nothing else. Okay, no other field is required to be defined here. All right. All right, so I'm going to give it, say, it's going to be my DB. Okay, it's going to be my database. So I need to give a partition key here, and the partition key which I would like to go and make use of it here is going to be number. Okay, and it's going to be type called number as well. Okay, it's going to be number, and that's it. Only one field is required, nothing else. Okay, nothing else. All right, that is very, very nice. I just defined that one, and then I'm going to simply go ahead and say I want to create this table. It's going to go ahead and try to create that one, and it's not going to be asking you the size. It's not going to be asking you any other information here. Okay, does not ask you anything else here. It's all good here. Now we can actually go and try to integrate that with the help of Amazon resource name. Okay, this is kind of an endpoint. We'll be able to go and use this endpoint to connect to the server. Okay, this is also free to try, and you can also try this out in the free tier account. Okay, no charges for it. All right, this is very, very nice. I'm not going to be going and trying to use this in a programmatic way or going to be adding that in any kind of a code or a program. I'm actually going to be trying to show you here right from the console. I'm going to go and click on the items here. Okay, I'm going to go and use the item here. And then I can go and say I want to create an item. You see, right now we have only one column called number. Okay, we just have one column called number. And I can actually go and add any type of data here. I can actually add any number of columns here required. For example, I say create an item. It's going to say the only field required here is the item. Let's say I'm going to be trying to add some information. Okay, so I have some sensors who are actually uh, sending me the data that what is the temperature where the sensor is located. Okay, I may be creating those thousands of sensors in the country. Okay, I'm just creating those thousands of sensors in the country. So I'll say this item number or sensor number is, let's say, 101, and the temperature it is going to be reporting is going to be, okay, gonna say temperature is going to be, let's say, 23. So very pleasant. 23 is the temperature here, and I can go and save it. So it's not going to throw me any error that, I don't know what is the temperature field. I cannot store there. It's automatically going to go and create that field and automatically going and trying to absorb that information. So you can actually go and start dumping any type of information. It's going to simply go and create that in a key pair value. It's like an Excel sheet for you, okay, which is unlimited and which is something you can go and integrate that with the other services, okay, which can be integrated with the other services. Let me go and try creating one more item here. I'm going to say item number is 102 this time, and I have information that how much is the temperature. Let's say it is a little hot, and how much is the humidity there. Okay, humidity is fine. We say it's just 15, and we can say what is the wind speed. Okay, what's the wind speed going on there? It's actually windy. Let's say it's 15 miles an hour. And I simply go and say I want to save this information, and we will see more columns are going to be created and this information is going to be stored. It's not going to be throwing any kind of an error that I don't know what to do with this information, which means you can use this table, you can use this database to store any size of information. It's fully managed, it's highly available and highly scalable. Okay, it's highly available, highly scalable, and you can go and start dumping any amount of data. So think of a case when you have, millions of users or millions of devices who want to store information at the back end. Let's say you are trying to create an application for mobile users, and this application will allow users to submit their vote. They can cast their vote. They can submit their vote for the best best performance in the TV, best performance bus show, or the best artist, right? They can actually submit their votes for their TV shows. So you think of as soon as the TV show is getting over, all of them are going to be trying to submit their votes. And they do need some kind of a database behind the scene, which is going to be always available, which is going to be able to absorb all that information. And what you are going to be doing with this information, that is different, right? You might want to run some kind of a business intelligence tools. You might want to go and convert this information to a more meaningful way. Okay, that's going to be a different scenario. In the example which we have discussed, where we are going to be collecting information on the environment, temperature, humidity, wind speed, rainfall, all that stuff, we can actually collect all that information for many years. Let's say I want to collect that for 2 years, 3 years, and there are thousands of sensors which are sending this information, right? I can use this DynamoDB, which is fully available and highly scalable. I'll continue to go and absorb all the information here. Okay, I'll be able to go and feed that information here in the database. After 2 years, 3 years, I can actually go and use this database with the help of the business intelligence tools. I can go and use the data warehousing solutions to process this data. Okay, how that works is, let me try bringing that sheet here for you. Okay, I'm gonna use one image. I'm gonna be trying to help you understand how that things works. Okay. Okay. All right. Need to find that out real quick. So I'm trying to find an image which I want to show you that how the all this integration is going to happen, how we are going to be going and trying to uh, consume the information from this DynamoDB and crunching and processing it and making use of it. Okay. All right, I'm not able to find this information here. Let me try searching one more time. Okay. Okay, actually, I want to show you the, I think this one, yeah, this one looks good. Let me actually try saving this image. And let me try sharing this with you. All right, so I think this looks great. I'm gonna share this with you. So how this works is at the backend, at the bottom end, you see we do have a DynamoDB, and that is where we are gonna be trying to capture all the data, all the information. Okay, I want to store all my data. That is where the ingestion is going to be coming, data ingestion is going to be coming from. And then on the top, you do see we do have a SQL clients, or we do have a business intelligence tools here, which are going to be feeding the information that what kind of information we need to process, what kind of reports we need to generate. And it's going to be going and trying to work with this data warehouse solution. This is data warehousing. Okay, this is what is known as Redshift. So Redshift is a data warehousing solution from Amazon. Okay, so this is a data warehousing, cloud data warehousing solution. What do you mean by data warehousing? Data warehousing means it is actually going to be giving us a very huge cluster system, which is going to help us process all the data very quickly. Okay, it's going to help us quick process the data very quickly. I'll be able to create a cluster size of 128 nodes. Okay, I'll be able to do that here. So in short, uh, the business intelligence tools are going to be going and providing the instructions here uh, to the to the Redshift, and Redshift is actually going to be going and working with multiple compute nodes and gonna be processing all the data which you have captured here in the DynamoDB, and then gonna be converting that into some meaningful way. Okay, then gonna be creating some meaningful reports so that you'll be able to go and make use of it, so that you'll be able to consume it, use it. All right. Okay, that's that's how it's gonna be working. Okay, so you think of storing any kind of unlimited data here without defining any kind of schema. Okay, it's gonna be very flexible, highly available, and you can actually store unlimited amount of data onto it. Okay, all right. Now, uh, you know, DynamoDB does not process the data on the fly. Okay, so DynamoDB does not process data in the real time. If you have a requirement where you want to process the data in the real time as it comes in, then you should not use DynamoDB. Okay, then you should not use the DynamoDB. So, for example, if you are if you need to create an application which need to be processing data in the real time, let's say you are trying to create an application or a solution for air traffic controller, right? So ATC need to keep a track on what all planes are there in the sky, right? Air traffic controllers monitors all the planes in the sky. They need to be aware of that, how many planes are currently there in the sky, uh, how far they are flying, for how long, how much they are in the airspace, right? And and the planes continue to send all this data to the air traffic controller. Okay, what kind of data plane sends? They send that at what altitude they are flying, how much weight they are carrying, how far they are from airport, how much fuel they have, for how long they are flying, and all this information continue to change, continue to update. Okay, that continue to change, continue to update, and and ATC need to depend on this information for making a decision. Okay, for deciding on that which plane need to given a priority for landing. So which means ATC cannot say that, okay, let me store all that data in DynamoDB. I will process that later. So ATC need to process that in the real time, right? And that is where we have one service here called, okay, we have a one service here called uh, uh, Kinesis, right? So we have Amazon services called Kinesis. And Kinesis actually help you process the data in the real time. Okay, so you should not use DynamoDB in that case. You should use Kinesis, which is going to be helping you process data in the real time. Is that okay? Does this make sense? Is that fine? Okay, all right, very nice. I'm gonna go and talk about a one more database here. Okay, there's a one more type of a database here, and that database is actually known as in-memory data stores. Okay, what is in-memory data stores? In-memory data store is the databases which actually make use of memory. Okay, databases which are operating out of memory. So Elastic Cache is actually a in-memory data store. Okay, it's an in-memory data store, which means this database is going to be giving you very high performance because your database is not living on disk. Disk is much slower, but memory is much faster. It is actually going to be going and loading the database into memory and then going to be processing all the information in the memory itself, which is at a much higher speed. Okay, it's actually at a much higher speed. So there are actually two solutions which are available. Okay, there are two solutions which are there. One is known as a Redis, other one is known as a memcached. Okay, there is a Redis and there is memcached, and both are actually open source. If I go and search for Redis, so this is a page for the Redis, and it says Redis is open source in memory data structure. And if I go and try checking for memcached, memcached is also in memory. Okay, it's also uh, in memory caching system. So means if you have a requirement to consume the database at a very high speed, very high performance requirements, you can actually go and make use of the Elastic Cache. And Elastic Cache allows you to use Redis or memcached. Okay, it does allow you to make use of any of the options. In case if you're using something similar in your own data center, and if you think you want to go and make use of this in the Amazon, so you can actually go and make use of memcached, which is going to be allowing you to consume Redis or memcached. Okay. All right. So actually, we have discussed about a lot of different type of databases, right? So I shared that so that you are familiar with the names and you are knowing that, okay, these all different type of databases which exist, right? So it's not coming to as a surprise that you never heard about those. Primarily, you should be aware of the relational database service and the NoSQL, which is DynamoDB, but you should be familiar with we do have other database services as well. Okay, so anyone having any questions with this so far? Okay, anything on your mind? So I think that's all I do want to cover here onto the database side. Okay. All right. No, Kinesis also comes under the kind of a data store for you. Okay. You can actually go and easily collect. You can actually go and store the uh, you can ingest the data in here as well. Okay. It gives you option to ingest the data here, and you can go and filter and pass it on to the some other solutions as well. Okay. All right. Yes, you can say it's a kind of initial storage space for you. But when you actually process this one, after processing, you can actually feed that to some other databases as well. Okay, you can actually go and store that onto some other databases as well. All right, very, very nice. Any other question, anyone? Okay, all right. Okay, so I think I'm pretty much toward the end of the today's session, and we covered a lot onto the IAM and onto the database side, right? I think that's what I would like to go and share that with you. Okay. Now, uh, okay. So it is difficult to understand or know when to use which service. Yeah, I think that's going to be coming with the experience, right? It's going to be coming with experience. So primarily, you need to understand that the relation database service is going to be for small amount of data. Okay. The database is not really huge. DynamoDB or NoSQL is the solution when you think you're going to be having a lot many devices which are going to be going and trying to work with it. Okay, whenever you think of millions of devices, millions of users, you can make use of DynamoDB. When you think of performance, think of Elasticache. And when you have to process huge data, you have a lot of data which is collected and you want to process that. So then the data warehouse solution comes in. Okay, that is where it is going to be coming in. If you want to process the data in the real time, that is where Kinesis comes in. So I think it's easy. It's not that difficult. Maybe you have as you get more experience working with the database, right? If once you get a more familiarization, I think it's gonna be easy once you start hearing all these words, right? Okay. All right. All right. So let me check more questions here. Okay, so actually, MongoDB, MongoDB is very much similar to the DynamoDB. Okay, so DynamoDB is actually a replacement for MongoDB. Okay, MongoDB is also based on the key pair, right? So you can relate that with the MongoDB. All right, very very nice. Oh, let me go and share that what we are going to be going and talking about in our next session. Okay. Do you know when we are going to be meeting next? I think we're going to be going and meeting on Monday, right? Okay, very nice. And what's the time given to you on Monday? Okay, yep, 10:30 to 2:30. Okay, yep, that's the time. We are good with it. So let me share that what is going to be coming up for you on Monday. What all we are going to be talking about on Monday. So we are going to be going and talking about these topics on Monday. We are going to be going and talking about something called Route 53, which is actually a DNS service from Amazon. Then we have one more service called CloudFront, and CloudFront is a content delivery network from Amazon. Then we have one more interesting service here called CloudFormation, and CloudFormation is actually infrastructure as a code. So we will see that what all services we have configured, used, discussed, how I can go and create that with the help of the code. We have one more service called System Manager, and System Manager is actually going to be going and helping you manage your multiple servers in the cloud. Okay, once you're going to be having it, how you're going to be patching them, how you're going to be going and trying to run some commands on all of them, how you're going to be collecting information on them. All that is a part of System Manager. And then finally, we're going to be discussing something on the disaster recovery, how backup disaster recovery is possible in the Amazon, what different services we can go and use, and then we are going to be spending some time on the exam part, that how you can go and prepare for your certification exam, what are topics you need to focus on, how much the weightage you need to give, how many questions are going to be there, what type of questions are going to be there. All that is going to be discussed toward the end of the Monday session. Is that good? Are you okay with that? Any question you have on this? Okay, okay, okay. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. All right, then with that note, I would like to thank you so much for your time today. Okay, and we'll catch up with you on Monday morning, and we'll complete the course by completing these topics. Okay, we are done with the all the difficult part here. Okay, now all the easy stuff is something which I have kept it for you, all the interesting and the easy stuff. And I'm sure you're going to be loving those topics. Those all are again different one and very, very informative one. Thank you, folks. Have a great evening. We'll connect with you on Monday morning. Happy weekend, and bye for now.